Hello guys and welcome to the 4th Eurovision Hub Podcast with me, Miceal.
And me, Louis. Now, Miceal and listeners, if I remember correctly in episode 1, we said that on our podcast we weren't going to shy away from controversial topics about the Eurovision Song Contest. And to be fair to us, we haven't. But in saying that, we haven't really touched upon many controversial topics just yet.
That's true. We have been very open and honest about our opinions on Brexit, countries who appear to take part for the sake of taking part, countries we want to see debut, return and leave. And we have also been very to the point about our favourites and our least favourites of the 2017 contest. But the Eurovision has always been plagued by controversies, from vote buying to bloc voting, and this year's situation was geopolitical.
It was indeed. So as recent as 2017, Ukraine banned Russia's participant Yulia after she confirmed that she had entered Crimea, which Russia annexed from Ukraine in 2014, and this was done without permission from the local authorities, which is in fact a breach of the Ukrainian law. Russia subsequently withdrew from the contest and are due to return in 2018 in Lisbon. Now, this episode didn't really help to back up anybody who likes to claim that Eurovision is not political. But after that happening, how can you say that the contest isn't?
Yeah, I know, I do have to agree with you, Louis, as I'm one of those people who prior to this like to smile through my teeth and say, no, there's nothing political about the contest, it's simply all about the music. And sadly, I had to eat my words this year. It's the first time that a host country of the contest has actually barred another nation's participant. And the class of geopolitics and pop culture raises the question that was on everyone's lips. I mean, everyone's lips at the start of 2017. How did this happen? So Louis, let's get stuck into this one.
So, in April 2017, the official Eurovision website announced that Russia will no longer be able to take part in this year's competition. So, as I mentioned before, the Russian participant Yulia breached the Ukrainian law after she confirmed that she had entered Crimea. Russia's Eurovision broadcaster Channel 1 then refused to send a replacement singer to the contest in Kiev, let her participate via satellite, or even broadcast the show.
Yeah, I remember following this story closely on social media and on the evening news. Everybody was talking about it, even my 91-year-old granny. She brought it up to me and she asked me, what's going on with Eurovision? And I didn't know what to say because I couldn't believe that this was happening. The whole time I just kept thinking, this is crazy. Surely we can sort this out over a mature chat and a cup of tea. Because after all, the purpose of the Eurovision Song Contest initially was to bring together EBU countries through a light entertainment programme. And as far as I could see back in March and April, when this was all unfolding in front of us, there was nothing light about it at all.
It was such a talking point in early 2017. My uni mates were on the case asking me to explain to them, but I wasn't quite sure what was happening myself, so I couldn't really give them an answer. Were Russia in or were they out? But you know what, Miceal? Before any of this, it could have been avoided. Many people believe Ukraine's 2016 winners shouldn't have been even allowed to enter the contest in the first place. Their song 1944 appears to refer to Stalin's deportation of ethnic Tatars from Crimea during World War II. Many people believe that the song violates the contest ban on explicit political lyrics, and that it should have been banned and Ukraine given the option to change the song or the singer back in 2016. I have to agree though, the song was not a very subtle reprimand to Russia for the invasion of Crimea 3 years ago.
Yeah, the song is subtle, but it treads a very fine line as it avoids direct reference to Vladimir Putin's 2014 annexation of Crimea, but it has left no one in any doubt about where her sympathies lie. Now, rewind back to 2009, a year after Russia's war with Georgia. The proposed Georgian entry is announced and it's called We Don't Wanna Put In. The song was deemed unsuitable because of its obvious play on the Russian president's name. Ukraine may have taken a few tips from this situation on how to drop hints and throw digs, but at the same time, play by the rules from this event. Georgia was told it could amend the lyrics, but they chose not to enter the contest at all in 2009 when the contest was held in Russia.
And it was actually Russian officials and some politicians in Crimea who complained about 1944, wasn't it? They claimed that the song was intended to insult Russia. But the Eurovision organisers decided that the song was not in breach of the competition's rules against political speech. Jamala actually said in Stockholm that musicians should express their feelings, their real feelings, not sing meaningless words like we hear all the time. I do have to agree with her as a musician myself, but at the same time, the Eurovision shouldn't be used as a political platform, as it defeats the purpose and essence of the contest's existence.
Yeah, and you know the worst thing about all of this? That sometimes at the Eurovision, the audiences home and the arena believe that the singer who is representing their country holds the same views as the country's president or prime minister and gets abused for it. Remember in 2014 and 2015, I think, the Russian entries were booed by some of the audience, and this was apparently over both Moscow's invasion of Ukraine and Putin's record on gay rights. Yes, we may not agree with your country's leader, but the singer is not the person you should be taking your anger out on. The singer is there to do the best job that they can and do what they love the most, perform and sing for millions, not become the political face of their country. Those singers who experienced boos at the Eurovision deserved way better. I was appalled when I heard it. I hope never to hear it again at the contest, as the Eurovision is a safe, zero prejudice place with 100% inclusion for all. As Iceland's 2014 entry says, let's do away with prejudice, don't discriminate, tolerance is bliss.
Let's do away with prejudice, don't discriminate, tolerance is bliss.
The Eurovision Song Contest wouldn't be the Eurovision Song Contest without the annual accusations of political or bloc voting, where groups of neighbouring countries or those that are culturally similar or politically sympathetic will give more points to each other rather than to countries with different tastes on the other side of the European continent.
And to some people, the often very predictable voting only adds to the fun and the entertainment of the show. For them being the general viewing public and non-Eurovision fandom members who don't take the contest very seriously, so not us basically, for them it can be amusing to see old alliances and rivalries still going strong through music and song.
Other viewers like myself or other Eurovision fandom members have had enough of this unfairness of the voting system. The predictability of voting patterns and the lack of appreciation of the actual music have completely discredited the contest, which should even be boycotted, some say. Now I say this, but I do believe that the voting has got a lot better than from 2014 onwards, but let's explore the criticisms of the voting at Eurovision. We have often heard fans and non-avid fans of the contest say, we'll never win because of bloc voting. And we even heard the late Terry Wogan comment on this matter by calling the bloc voting at the contest a debacle.
Okay, so it's argued that the most influential factor in these voting blocks is the passive cultural element rather than any deliberate agenda to do with politics. For example, the Greeks and the Cypriots, who almost systematically exchange top or high points. The two populations share similar things like language, musical traditions, and tastes. A singer who is a household name in Greece will more than likely be known in Cyprus and vice versa. In a similar way, Nordic musical preferences are not necessarily appreciated in Latin or Mediterranean countries.
Yeah, I agree. The most interesting Eurovision relationship for me is Greece and Cyprus. And it's time for some figures and stats, by the way. Are you ready?
Yep.
You know I love this stuff.
You do.
So, between 1975 and 2003, that's the year before the semi-finals were introduced, whenever both countries took part in the same contest, Greece gave an average of 9.7 points to Cyprus and received an average of 10.7 points in return. Coincidence? I think not. What two countries do you think have the relationship that exchanged the fewest points to each other?
So, I'm going to go with two countries that are geographically furthest apart and may share completely different tastes in music. Iceland and Azerbaijan.
It's a good guess, but you're wrong. It's actually Turkey and Cyprus.
What?
In 19 contests in which both were present between 1975 and 2003, they exchanged no points. No points at all. That would suggest either a clash of musical cultures or more likely the interference of historical and political differences. Diplomatically, Turkey refuses to even recognise Cyprus, so there you go.
Jeez. Wow. Now that stuff's interesting. And you know what else is quite interesting and relevant to me and you? The UK and Ireland's decline in regards to points at the Eurovision and how many people have come to blame the bloc voting for it. So before the semi-final rounds in 2004, Ireland and the UK were the countries that consistently received the most points. Both have no real neighbours except for each other, and while the UK provided Ireland's fifth highest point average between 1975 and 2003, Ireland's contribution to the UK's score was unremarkable, around the same as most other countries. In both cases, these countries seem not to benefit from any real bloc voting effect. Their success could be put down to the English language, the most universal in the Eurovision area, being their mother tongue, or perhaps their reputations in mainstream music, having provided the likes of the Beatles, Bowie, U2, and many others between them.
So we've highlighted that bloc voting is the idea of similar cultural elements in music, rather than the deliberate agenda to do with politics. But who are the blocs, and do they have names? Well, we're going to highlight the blocs, or the voting teams, once for all. So I'm going to start with the Balkan bloc, or Team Balkan, which we're going to call it, which I believe consists of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Macedonia, Slovenia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Albania, and Greece. I also think that Turkey was part of this team or bloc when it took part in the contest as well.
That's a strong team. But you know, another strong team, or bloc, at the Eurovision is a combination of the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland, and the Baltic countries, which consist of Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. Let's call them the Nultics. No, actually, let's not. Let's just call them Team Viking.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, so between 1975 and 2003, the 5 countries that gave the most points on average to Sweden were Denmark, Estonia, Iceland, Lithuania, and Norway. Similarly, Estonia, Sweden, and Norway were among Finland's biggest contributors, while the biggest fans of Denmark's entries were Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Latvia, and Estonia.
Another strong bloc, or team to form in the pre-2004 and pre-semi-finals, was a Warsaw Pact bloc, involving Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Russia, Estonia, and Romania. Funnily enough, Estonia and Latvia won 2001-2002 respectively, and it seems that both benefited from being part of Team Warsaw and Team Viking. Now, Team Warsaw grew significantly from 2004 onwards, when the contest opened its doors to many countries in the east of the continent that had never taken part before. Ukraine, Georgia, Belarus, Romania, Moldova, and Azerbaijan would all soon become strong forces in Team Warsaw, which saw it become larger and more influential at the contest.
Okay, so let's put these ideas to the test. Where shall we start? Now, you mentioned earlier about Estonia and Latvia winning in 2001 and 2002, both Team Viking and Warsaw. 2003 saw Turkey win, who are Team Balkan. Turkey's 2003 victory by 2 points over Belgium was aided by 57 Team Balkan votes, whereas they only gave 39 to Belgium. 2003 is the first contest where bloc or team voting was strong enough to actually produce a victory for a team or bloc member. This stuff is serious, isn't it?
It is, and there's so many facts, and if you can't actually keep up with this, or you just haven't a clue what we're saying, make sure you read the blog which goes along with this podcast, because it has all the facts and everything we talk about.
We do.
So if you get lost listening to us, it's all down there in black and white. It can help you along the way. So if we keep going on from 2003, 2004, Ukraine won, which is Team Warsaw.
Yep, another win for Team Balkan in 2005 when Greece won.
And then in 2006, when Finland won the contest for the first time, that was Team Viking.
Yeah, Serbia from Team Balkan won in 2007.
2008 was Team Warsaw when Russia.
And Norway won again in 2009, which saw another victory for Team Viking.
And then there's a spanner in the works, because in 2010 Germany won.
Yeah,
And that's when people started to believe in the voting again. Say, if Germany can win, we can all win.
that's true. I did think that as well. But then Azerbaijan won in 2011, another win for Team Warsaw.
And of course, Team Viking returned in 2012 with Euphoria and Sweden.
Yep. Team Viking kept their winning streak going when Denmark won in 2013.
And then 2014, yet another spanner in the works. Austria does it again 4 years after Germany, and everyone rejoices and say, well, if they can win, we can win as well.
That is true, but then Sweden comes along in 2015 and takes the crown and bags another win for Team Viking.
Not before Team Warsaw come in again and win 2016 in the form of Ukraine.
And then Portugal happened.
And then Portugal did happen, yes.
Yeah.
Thank God it did. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the song, as you know. It grew on me a bit after the contest, but in regards to throwing another major voting spanner in the works, it's great.
Yeah, I'm so glad it happened actually. And for the same reason, I was happy that Germany won in 2010, Austria 2014. It just goes to show, at the end of the day, if a song is great, it gets the result it deserves, no matter where it is from.
So to summarise all that, Team Viking are currently leading with 6 wins since 2001. Warsaw are in second, and the Balkan team and the Spanners team are tied on 3. The Balkans' last win came in 2007, however, so it might be time for them to shine again.
Okay, so after all of that heavy yet interesting stuff, it's time to play Guess the Intro!
Yes, it's the part of the show where we play the first 10 seconds of Eurovision songs to each other and guess the country, the song title, and the singer. Miceal's up first this week. Are you ready?
So ready.
Now, you suffered a defeat last week. I beat you.
I was sick.
Yeah, and I'm ready to do it again, so let's go.
Okay.
Don't try to deny, I can see in your eyes.
Okay, so this was the first ever entry by the Ukraine, I think.
How do you do it?
Because I know that they won after the second time, which was 2004. I have no clue about this singer, but I know that it's called like Hasta la Vista or
Yeah, it
Hasta
is.
la Vista, baby.
So that's Ukraine 2003, Hasta la Vista.
And the singer?
Alexander?
Nice.
Yeah. I'm working on my Ukrainian.
Good on me.
So, number 2. What do you think of that?
I know what this is. This is one of the rock entries from Turkey, but I can't put a year on it. I know it's either between 2007 and 2011. I got no clue, but I know it's Turkey, and I know it's in Turkish.
It is Turkey, it's 2008. More of a Utesi. I'm not sure.
I kind of got it right there, don't I?
Yeah, Turkey 2008. We'll give you that. It's tough to remember the name.
It is.
And third up, to try and get 3 out of 3, is this. That's all I'm giving you because she kind of ruined it for me.
Why?
She sang.
Oh,
It's supposed to be a guess and
damn you, Ruth Lorenzo, 2014, Spain.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dancing in the Rain.
Oh yeah. Did you like this?
No.
No, neither did I. Okay, so now it's your turn. I'm back on top form. Are you ready?
No.
Song 1, let's go. So?
Oh, I think I do know this. Because she's my favourite. She won 2005. And she did it again 2000. Well, she didn't win, but she's in 2001.
Correct.
But in a group or something.
In a group. Antique, I Would Die For You. I love this song. What about you?
I do. It's quite catchy, isn't it? Can we hear more of it?
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so you ready for song 2?
Yeah, I'm feeling confident now.
Okay, let's go. Song number 2.
Honey, I'm telling the truth. I did something terrible in my early youth. My mind went blank.
I remember it.
Do you?
But I remember hearing it once in Eurovision,
Yeah.
but I don't know who.
You remember hearing it once in Eurovision?
Yeah, surprisingly, these are all Eurovision
Jeez.
songs, but I don't remember what country it was. I remember it was in Eurovision. Can you give me that?
I can. I mean, why do you just win the whole series you've won? This was Norway, A Monster Like Me from 2015. That was a good song. I liked it.
I don't remember them.
Very dramatic, as our reactor Hillary says. Okay, so it's time for your third song. I've already won, so let's try get some.
Some pride. Yeah.
Right, you ready? Song number 2. 3.
Sounds like Hold me in my hand.
Okay, it does, yeah. It does. It's that sound. It's the world music genre.
No, I know this one.
Do you?
This was, you're sticking with the block voting today. Cyprus 2005, because it was Helena's year.
It was, I.
2005. Ella or something.
Yep, for Cyprus.
Yeah. I don't know who.
I mean, two out of 3 is not bad for you.
Yeah. I mean, last time it was a bit of a fluke, but
Yeah. Okay, so that means I'm the winner again.
congratulations.
Yes.
Take your crown back.
Yep.
Yes, we do have a crown here.
Christina put a crown on me.
So I know we have. I'm gonna sneeze.
That was a cough.
I know, but I tried to block it. Sorry. I know we've had lots of trivia and facts today, but we have even more because it is trivia time. Woo.
Hey!
Mihal's drinking his tea and
I
couldn't celebrate in time, but okay. So, couple of questions.
Yep.
Mihal, before the reformation of voting in 2016, can you name the last 3 countries that received 0 points, where their bloc couldn't even help them out because they were that bad?
Yep, I'm gonna try. Germany 2003, United Kingdom, and actually really recent 2015 host country Austria
Yeah.
and Germany.
Yeah, both of them the
Hey,
same
both of
year.
them.
That was the year Austria hosted and they got no
Exactly,
points.
yeah.
And actually, if you were listening earlier, all 3 of them are in Team Spanner. So they don't have the Balkans or they don't have the
They got nobody.
Vikings to come to them. So yeah. Question 2. This will test your history. The UK entry in 2003 received no points, as you already said, because many believed it was at the time of the Iraq and Afghanistan war. How political is that? But in 1982, what type of dance entry did Spain send to the hosts UK? Do you know? 1982 is a long time.
Yeah. I was like minus 10 years old. I don't know, some sort of like Spanish flamenco or.
Well, no, because.
tang-
Well, yeah, nearly. Spain sent to the host UK an Argentinian tango because
Oh,
it
the
was
cheek!
it was the same time of the Falklands War. How political is
mean-
that? And my last fact for the day
These are good facts, by the way.
is: do you remember Scooch in 2007
Unfortunately, yes.
when they represented the UK? They were awful. But
But
which 2 countries voted for them, and how many points
did they?
for a bonus one?
2 countries.
So only 2 countries
2.
voted for them.
Okay, I'm going to say Ireland because we're kind of like, we got each other's backs. We
Yeah.
kind of do, we kind of don't.
Ireland gave 7 points.
The Scooch. What
Yeah.
were we thinking?
Oh, I don't.
I'm going to say like Poland or
It was actually Malta.
Malta.
And Malta quite like
Are
the UK,
Scooch
yeah.
big in Malta?
I don't know, but they gave 12 points. 12 points.
That's a lot of points for a song that. Sorry, but you guys didn't deserve it.
Yeah, that's it. But that concludes trivia time and podcast 4.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and do get in touch with us by contacting us on any of our social media platforms at Eurovision Hub, or you can email us at hello@eurovisionhub.com.
So, bye guys. Don't miss us too much.
Yeah, don't miss us too much. Until next time, bye.
Cue the music. Ba, 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 ba. I really wanted to say that.